All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Rechak, Wadash. Double unto the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the four elect tabernacle of David, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And I just had to do a lesson, addressing this incident that took place in Philly. And Jake is out of control, we're definitely in the last days, and this is why we're going to constantly see this degenerate behavior increase. And it tells us several times that, wickedness shall be increased or iniquity shall abound. All right. And we're seeing it, right before our very eyes. And that's how we're clearly at the end of this thing. All right, people are totally out of pocket, out of order. They have no self-control, lack of restraint, self-restraint. You just never know what to expect from people. All right, but this is what we're going to see. All right. So this is a second incident that I've seen of a similar circumstance where, Jake couldn't keep his rod in his pants, and, he's in the store acting all perverted and basically getting off, and it's like I don't know if it's a growing trend among these, perverted sickos out here, but this is another incident where Jake pretty much got off on a woman publicly in a store. Now, if I see some shit like this in public myself, and there's children nearby, or you do this in front of my woman, or if you do this to my woman, it's a guarantee I'm getting locked up. I will be getting taken to the local jail, because this behavior is totally out of pocket, man. So anyway, here's the clip, if you haven't seen it, and it's going viral, it's on the news now. All right. And like I said, another incident similar to this happened about a month ago. All right. And I'm going to pull that clip up as well. Jake just needs to get put down. All right. Totally out of pocket, totally out of control.
He fucking nutted on my fucking leg. You go to hell, bitch. Oh my God. He nutted on my leg. He nutted on my leg. Look.
That's sick, man. And he did this publicly in a store. So he got a super lust demon on him. He has that lascivious demon on him. All right. And this is what happens when you live in a lawless society. All right, because Western culture has always been about promoting debauchery, degenerate behavior, licentiousness, which is basically liberalism. This is the behavior you're going to get when you have the vilest man being exalted. All right, straight perverseness. So this is the other one. All right, this was in some city, some town in Georgia outside of Atlanta. So let me play this one.
Well, we begin tonight with that disturbing story in Chambly, and we do want to warn viewers, the details may be considered graphic. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Chambly police say a man is accused of performing a sex act on himself and leaving bodily fluids on a woman at Whole Foods.
Our Fox 5's Mary Smith is live outside Chambly Police Headquarters after speaking with the victim tonight. Mary?
Yeah, that's right. The victim says this happened during what was supposed to be a routine trip to Whole Foods, but the unthinkable happened. Horrified and enraged. Just No words. Disgusted. Dr. Sabine Lovell, a plastic surgeon here in Metro Atlanta, is still processing what happened to her during a trip to this Whole Foods on Peachtree Boulevard in Chamblee Saturday. I was going to pick up a couple things. I see this gentleman walking down the aisle who's pretending to be shopping, and he's holding a basket. And he looked kind of like a normal gentleman, like late 20s, early 30s, nothing like extra suspicious about him. She says she then reached for a bag of chips, but felt something on her back. So I bent over to grab the chips, and as I was doing that, I felt something like wet and warm.
I hope this ain't the same dude. You know what I mean? Let this not be the same guy. You know, but also, I mean, it's even worse if this is another incident by another Jake, by another male. Because, you know, this type of behavior is liable to spread. Because we live in a very perverse society, man, and it's very lawless. And that's why the scriptures talk about being circumspect. You know, you got to be attentive, self-aware, which a lot of these women, they be in la-la land. They're not aware. And that's another reason why you need men. If you got a husband, you think the dude's going to even have, you think he's going to even think about doing such a thing? Not in another man's presence. You know? Because we lurking, we watching. But anyway, let's continue.
Arm on my back, and so I put my hand on the small of my back, and then I saw that it was like this gooey, white substance, and I turn around and I see this guy looking at me, and then he zips his pants up. Lovell tells Fox 5 once she realized what happened, she chased the man before calling police. I wanted to draw as much attention as possible to the situation so that there would be a lot of witnesses. Chamblee police say a witness saw the man drive off in a black Kia. Investigators tell Fox 5 they identified a person of interest, and the investigation is ongoing. This was broad daylight on a Saturday. I'm sure he's done this before, or this could escalate to something more like rape or murder. So I want to make sure that this goes on his record and it follows him.
Yeah, like I said, I hope this ain't the same dude. That means that this dude, he's making his rounds. He's going from state to state, just picking out his victims in these random stores. You know, this guy developing a reputation. But that goes to show you what spirit is out there. So even you sisters out there, man, y'all be attentive, be careful. Okay? Because it's getting sick out here, man. And the scriptures already warned us that in these last days, wickedness are going to be increased. So this behavior is just not outside of the realm of surprise. This is 2 Ezra 5 and 1. It says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And we're here, man, because it's every day there's new heights, of wickedness, perverseness, pride. All right, people just not caring, no fear. All right, let me jump down to I'm gonna read verse 8, but the point is that verse 10. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. A bunch of, rebellions, uproars, protests, riots. And the fire shall be often sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places. Meaning these wild animals, they're, changing their natural habitat because Esau's jacking up the ecosystem with all this weather warfare that he's pushing in the name of so-called climate change. We know what it truly is. He's using weather modification. So it's damaging that the natural habitat of these wild beasts. So they're being pushed into these cities. You got bears in people's backyards running, going through their trash, or mountain lions. Okay. Coyotes and stuff like that. It says, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. You already know what that's going into. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. That's where, like the Lord said, love of many shall wax cold, right? Family turning on each other, taking each other out, best friends turning on each other, killing each other. And it'd be over the lowest reasons, the most pettiest, trivial reasons, man. So people just don't care anymore. And that's where we at. That's how you know we at the end. It says, then shall wit hide itself, meaning, people are not able to reason no more. People don't want to use their head. All right. You get into an argument, it could lead to death. You got a lot of nigger moments that's just happening rampantly. And I done seen 2 incidences as of late where an employee happened to be working the drive-through and got into an argument with somebody, and it led to gun violence. All right. So people don't even have the ability to reason anymore. Just straight nigger moments. He looked like he was a part of the northern tribes, but he was a manager of I don't know if it was a Sonics or something like that, but these 2 demons, these 2 she-bats, they tried to pay for the meal with fake money, and he questioned them on it and got into an argument with him. And I don't know if he went outside, and they ended up killing him. One of the women ended up shooting him and killing him. So these people are losing it, man. And these people are waxing worse and worse. So this is, we're back in the times of Noah, but it's even worse. And I always say that in most of my lessons, because, you can read about the degeneracy. All right. How, it tells you in Genesis, the 6th chapter, how the heart of every man was corrupted and evil continually. It was just a constant trend of evil happening in the earth. A lot of it was by the influence of idolatry, which came with, wicked, debased lifestyles. Then, of course, the flesh plays a very key role, because, these bodies that we're in are also corrupt. They lust to sin. So it was a lot of corruption, people giving into their flesh. Adultery, homosexuality, murder, greed, gluttony. And it's on 1,000 now, because we at the end of this thing. It says, and shall, Slakia, then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet shall not be found. And, especially this truth, where, once you come into the knowledge of this truth, you start to understand all things. You start to understand the flesh. You start to understand temptation, and you start to also understand the times in which we're living in, the prophecies. So these people, they're blinded in their own corruption, and they don't know what the hell is going on. The scriptures say in Psalms, the 82nd chapter, that they walk on in darkness, and they know not at what they stumble. And some people trying to look for answers, they trying to figure out what the hell is going on, but they're not going into the right places. And that's really up to the Lord, if the Lord is the one who because he's the one who draws you in. Like Yahushua said, no man can come to me but the Father, which draws them in. So this truth is going to be sought of many. It's not going to be found because it's really only for the Lord's elect. It says, then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the earth. And that's what we're seeing. And when you look up this word incontinency, you know what it means to be incontinent. Having or showing a lack of self-restraint or control. See that? And then, you know, there's even synonyms for it. You got dictionary.com, lacking in restraint or control, especially sexually, relating to or exhibiting involuntary urination or defecation. You know, just super loose. Want of restraint or this of the sexual appetite, free or illegal indulgence of lust. You know, that's very criminal. Jake, to be out there, you know, wanking off in public, in a public setting, in front of people. You know, just that's a clear lust demon on him. He's pretty much burned in his lust. If it's that bad, man, go get you a harlot, man. There's women that's they slinging it. $80, $100, whatever they price is. But Jake want to go into a store and be a damn degenerate, a freaking weirdo, man. Is really that bad, right? Like, sheesh. Incel behavior, man. That's why Paul gave the advice, you know, for brothers, you know, if you burning, to just go ahead and get you a wife and marry. And the same for a woman. All right. Let every man have his own wife and let every woman have her own husband. You know, so that burning lust demon doesn't overtake you. Because it can definitely happen because your flesh, it lusts. It lusts against what? Your spirit. And these people, they losing bad, man. All right. And I think there's another term for it. I think they call it libidinous. I think they call it. Let me see. Yeah, libidinous. All right. Lustful desires. Libidinousness. Having or marked by lustful desires. Lascivious. Libidinal. All right. In which it goes back to the word libido, which is dealing with, you know, your sexual appetite, your sex drive, which derives from the hormones in your body. You know, that's basically what that's dealing with. You're driven by your libido, your sex drive. And it's high amongst these men because, you know, women are playing games, of course, and men are going without because women want to put all these ridiculous, unrealistic standards on men before they even give them the time of day. So it's just a bunch of men out here that's just, you know, they're being overlooked, of course. They're invisible to the average woman. So, you know, that lust is building up. And it's not to justify this weirdo behavior, but that's the reality of what's going on in the society with these, you know, average men. All right. These women are out of control right now themselves, and they got crazy options, picking and choosing, you know, what men they're going to be dealing with, and they're sleeping around, hopping on the carousel. It ain't, see, you know, this dude was perverted. All right, this dude and the guy in Philly, but then you got women on the opposite side of the spectrum that they got husbands, but they talking about I got needs too. So they out there playing the whore, sleeping with all type of dudes while they're in a relationship or married. So that whole spirit, that whole vibration is predominant throughout this society, man. And that's another reason why the Lord's going to burn this place out. All right. He's going to burn this place up. Sweep it with the besom of destruction. Because it's greatly polluted, like it tells us in Micah. So we're seeing this play out in real time, this prophecy here. So I'm going to read it again. 2 Ezra 5:10. It says, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth. I'm curious to see what that says in the G&T. This is 2 Ezra 5:10. It says, and they will not be, and this is in the G&T, and they will not be found, even though many may look for them. Everywhere on earth, wickedness and violence will increase. You know, it's talking about, you know, wickedness, basically lack of restraint. Is why people are blowing each other away without trying to resolve their issues. They're not trying to use their brain. You know, people just impulsive, reactionary. Don't even think about what they do. They just do it. So that's why more wickedness is increasing. So let me see what it says in the Common English. 2 Ezra 5:10. It says, many will look for it, but they won't find it. And injustice and lust will be multiplied on earth. Yep. One country will ask its neighbor, has justice passed through you, doing what is right? And the answer will be no. Yeah, because you got the man of sin that's in power, the man of lawlessness. So expect all kind of behavior that mirrors his nature, because he's the one that's ruling. Now, Esau, nobody is more perverted than he is. It tells you that in Hebrews, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So it makes perfect sense. All right, but let's go to Galatians 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 13. And it says, for brethren, you have been called unto liberty, talking about us in this knowledge and in faith. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh. You don't be like Pastor Dow, you know, taking men's wives and you know, having them passed around, you know, or dudes like Elder Quanaf. Well, he ain't no Slocky, he ain't no elder. That dude Quanaf. All right, they come into this truth, and they try to use their position to win over silly women laden with sin and diverse lust. You know, and that's how it goes. And we know women, they like to look for men that's at the top rank. That hypergamous nature of them wanting the top dude. So if you got a high position or a top rank, they're gonna be attracted to that. Well, these dudes couldn't get women in the world, so when they come into this truth, oh, this is the perfect opportunity. You know, now not only do I get shalom and respect from men, but women are seeing that respect, and now they're attracted. So men, you know, they'll use this as a means to occasion to the flesh, turning the grace of our Lord into lasciviousness. And this is not this understanding, this truth of ours has no place for that type of behavior or that such a person. All right, we're supposed to walk holy because the Lord is holy. It says, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if you bite and devour one another, take heed that you be not consumed of one of another. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And we all have that battle because we all in this flesh. We know how the flesh gets. You know, you get getting certain feelings and cravings and all kind of stuff. But you got to keep it in check. It says, and these are contrary the one to another, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. Are like those two perverted beasts, all right, out there getting off on random women. You know, that's sick, man. There's some sickos, man. Like Kendrick said, 69 guys need to stay their freaky ass inside, man. Cause you gonna run into the wrong woman. You might think she's single, and then her dude is right down the aisle looking right at your ass, and beat beat you unconscious. The dudes need to keep it together, man. It says idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And we already know 2/3 are not going to make it anyway. They're not going to inherit it. They're going to have to die on this side, all right, be judged, and then come back through the elect that's going to be saved. You know, all his wickedness is going to get cleansed out by way of that fire. All right, it's gonna all the works is going to be burnt up with great noise and with fervent heat. All the elements shall melt with fervent heat and a great noise. All right, and after that, it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwells righteousness. So this behavior amongst our people is going to be non-existent in our world to come. It's going to be burned up out of them. Okay. So I'm sure there's more scriptures I can pull out, but you know, I just want to go to the scriptures that came to mind. And you know, the demon that's on these dudes, they're in the spirit of lasciviousness or licentiousness or wantonness. You can look all these terms up and see what scriptures come up. And you know, that's not the way to behave. Right, Jake, they need they head split. Anytime that goes on, man, just to you know, set an example. Anyway, Lord willing, this was edifying. Let me give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And until the next lesson, Shalom.